it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to Wowza Wednesday. Here we are in October already. Wow, only a couple more months to go. This week we're going to make these little boxes that actually hang in your Christmas tree or wherever you would like to hang them. When I photographed this one, because I did this one for my colour creation back in September, which was crushed curry, I hung this in my Christmas tree out the front of the house. I've got a tree that looks like a Christmas tree, just to photograph it, and it looked really fantastic. So this is what we're going to make, and it opens like this, and you'd fit some cash in there, you know, some notes or chocolate, thin chocolates, or a gift card. So I am making another one. I've got an order for these, so I'm making another one as part of the order, and this is the style we're going to be making, but in a pink. So this was my very first one, and yes, it was different, but this was a little bit awkward to pop underneath that, so I thought, no, I'll use that. So I will show you what we used. Let me pop these out of the way. There. And we're going to be using the tailor-made tag dies. And now I've used one already. I've cut it out and everything. It's, if you've got them, it's the second size of this whatever you call that, rectangular, not rounded edge one. So, and I just thought that went really nice with it. Now the words and the sentiment tag are from this set called Peaceful Season, which I'm using this piece here. So, and I'm using that one there called Joy and Love to You. Now I've already done that stamping because I've actually done it in silver embossing powder, so I've already done that bit. So, but the stamp set is current, the dies are not. And then I'm going to be using these, which are called Durski, what a funny name, Durski adhesive backed embellishments. So we're going to use these small silvery ones here to put on this. Now I'm using designer series paper and cardstock that is all retired, so is my punch for the snowflakes, which I've cut out already. Okay, so this is all you need. It's really nothing much, is it? So you're going to need a piece of card for the box that measures 8 inches by 4.5 inches. And then your DSP for the box measures 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. So that's the box. For the backing part, you'll need another piece of card, which I'm calling the base, which measures 4.5 by 4 inches, and a piece of designer series paper that measures 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. Now I know that doesn't show up a real lot, but it does look actually really pretty on there, and it's Blushing Bride, which is all retired. And you'll need a piece of ribbon, approximately, this piece is about 15 inches long, so I think I've put 12 inches in the oh my goodness, can't think, in the tutorial, but between 12 and 15 inches. So we're going to bring in our scoreboard, oops, and we're going to score our main piece of box piece on the long side at, using the small ball, 2.5 inches and 3 inches, 5.5 inches and 6 inches. Now you'll notice that this end is smaller than this end. So that one and that one are the same size. This one is smaller. So this is the one we need to do our cutting on when we get that far. So we need to go 1/2 inch on the short side and 4 inches. Alright, so now I'm going to use my pencil, if I can get him out, and I'm going to mark, oh no, I'm not going to mark that, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fold and burnish all these score lines. Because we want to cut away before we actually do any marking, because it's just easier. So we need our small end up here, up at facing you, because we are actually going to cut this long one and this little square here off of the short end. If you cut it off the other end, you've cut it wrong. So you need to cut it off of the short end. So you've got the short bit and then the little piece in the middle, and you're going to do that on both sides. Oops, come on, cut. I don't like those fluffy bits. There we go. That looks a bit rough down that edge to me. There we go, that's a bit better. Alright, now what we're going to do, so you can see that that will fold over the top like that. So you'll know that you've cut the right end once you can do that with it. Alright, so we're going to open it up again, and then where these little squares are between these two long pieces, we're going to cut and notch them in. Oops, don't cut my finger. And we're going to do that on both sides. Cut that in properly. That's better. Got a little bit stick in there. Doesn't want to move. Alright, so our piece of card now should look like this. So we've got the short end, and then this tiny strip, and then our two pieces with long pieces, and then our two little bits in the middle that are notched out. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my trimmer, only because it's easier to do this on my trimmer. And I'm going to measure along this edge here 1 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to put a little mark, because I've got the score line. Oh, let me bring that down. Because I've got the cutting line here, it's easy for me to measure, and I know exactly where my 1 3/4 inches is. Now I'm going to turn it. You can turn it this way or that way, it doesn't really matter. And you're going to measure down 1/2 inch. So we're going to pop that back in there so that's up flush, and this is on the 1/2 inch mark, and then I can put a little mark there, and then a little mark on this side, because we know that it's still in the groove here. Once we've done that, we're going to bring it down, and we're going to cut that off using the right one on an angle towards those things, between that mark, between the middle one and that side one. Like so. Oops, that's not very good, that one. That's a bit better. And then we can just use a razor to remove those pencil marks. Now mine's not very square in the middle there. Let me do that a bit with my scissors, just to get that nice edge. That's better. So if you're like me and you didn't get it on that point right there, just give that a quick trim on either side so that you've got that nice edge that looks like an envelope edge. So what we're going to do now, while we've still got this here, and I've already marked mine. If you've got directional paper, you need to watch. You want to have the mark in the middle at the bottom. Like if that picture was landscape, you would need your mark at the bottom, not at the top of the picture. Alright, so we're going to bring this in and we're going to mark this one. This is the DSP that measures 3 1/4 by 1 3/4, and we're going to mark this at 1 5/8 of an inch at the bottom, and then we're going to turn it onto the side. At the same side that we've got our mark, we want to measure up from that same side 1/2 inch, and we're going to then put our little mark here and here. Now if we do that on the back, we don't need to worry about removing those marks with the pencil. Then we're going to do exactly the same as before. We're going to bring this in and cut that off on that angle. Oh my goodness, that was a bit rough sounding, wasn't it? It sounds like I need a new blade in there. So I'm just going to, because I've got that rough edge there, I'm using my sanding, whatever you want to call this, emery board, just to get that edge nicely. There we go, got that nice edge back. And that's our piece of designer series paper done as well. That's all the cutting we're going to do. So we pop that board down there, whoops, and we'll bring back in our box, and this will fit nicely onto here with a nice gap all the way around. So we're going to glue that onto that piece there. I will once I get rid of the glue all around the nib. And as I say, you don't need to, if you want to rub them off, that's fine. Come on, why aren't you going to come out today? It's because it's cold again. Crazy weather. Oops, we don't want that. I want the thingy-majiggy, whatever you call that, bone folder. Okay, so we've put our piece of designer series paper on here. So now we're going to put some glue onto these little tab pieces in the centre. And we're going to glue those tabs to the back. This is the back, this is the front. So we want to glue these to the back of the box. Making sure you get a nice square edge on that corner, and the same on this one here, like so. We'll give that a few seconds. While that's drying, which will give that a few seconds to dry, we'll bring in our base piece and we'll glue our piece of designer series papers straight onto our base piece. Now once again, you will notice that this is 4 by 4 1/2. The 4 1/2 side is the height. So if you have a design that is directional, you need to make sure that your direction for your DSP is in the 3 3/4 length size. I'm pretty sure that's the right way. No, sorry, forget what I just said. Wipe that out of your memory. On the 4 1/2 inch side is the landscape side, and that's the way we want to have our designer series paper if it's got a direction on it. So once we've done that, that can go there. This can come back in, and we're now going to pop glue along this side here and this one here. so that it wraps around the back of the box. So it is better to do the two at the same time. Pop that up, fold that one over, and then fold this one over, and using your foam folder, just get in there and give that a nice push down to make sure that it's stuck nicely. While we're waiting for that to glue down, we're going to then bring in our tag for across the front, which I've already made. Now this piece measures, I didn't tell you how much some of these pieces measured, did I? This piece I didn't tell you how much it measured. This piece measures 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. So that's the smallest you want to go. You can go a little bit bigger if you want. Now because I've already stamped and embossed this with Joy and Love to You, I've now popped my little dimensionals on the back. I bring this in like so and pull them off. And I'm going to bring that up so it looks even, and it's going to hold that down. Once you're happy that's holding it down, I can go up a tiny bit higher. But we don't want to be able that it sticks to the box itself. So let's get that straight. We'll then bring that open, and I can then stick my finger inside just to glue that down, and that will pop underneath there like so. So we now pop our little snowflakes onto the front of this. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on these. Oops, get off my finger. Bring in my tweezers just to hold that down, pick them up and hold them down. I'm not going to put the embellishments on there for a minute. Oh, sorry, I was getting carried away with putting that on. Embellishments on there for a moment because it will make it just a little bit more difficult to do this. So we're going to bring in this, and this is going to go on here. So this is the 4.5 inch side along the bottom, 4 inch side up the side. So when this fits on here, we need it to have a 1/2 inch gap on the 3 sides and a bigger gap at the top. So we're going to put some glue onto the back of our box. And place that on there. You can eyeball it, or if you want to, you can actually measure it. I think eyeballing is enough, but everybody's different. Okay. Once that's down on there nicely, I'll give it a nice push down like so. I'm going to pop the pin in my glue because I've finished with my glue now. I'm going to bring in my hole punch, which I need the 1/8 of an inch size. Can't find it. And I'm going to line it up, this up with the edge of the box here, so that my hole is just inside that line. I'm going to pop a little hole there, and then I'll do the same over this side, like so. Should I use that one? I should have used the other one, I think. The other one's bigger. Let's pop that in again. That's alright, because it's going to go over the top of the other one. I'm doing a good job today, aren't I? Hey guys. Alright, so we've put our little holes in our thing. And we've got our tag. Now this is optional. I haven't got this on my tutorial, but I will actually write a little thing saying if you want to put a gift tag on what size to do. This will be 2 3/4 by 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to push the ribbon through this. I am, yes, there we are. And through the hole here. And then making sure that it's nice and straight. So do that before you actually tie it off. Make sure that it hasn't got a kink in it. Bring it through. Yep, that's nice and even. Just tie a knot in the end. As close as possible to the edge. And trim off, let's pull that nice and tight, trim off any excess, like so. And pull that up, put our little tag down, and that's our box with it. All we need to do is put some embellishments on here. So I'm going to pop these on here, because I think these are so cute. Where is my tool? Using my little picker tool, I'm going to pop one in the centre of each of these snowflakes, and then one more just over here, like so. And that's our project for our Wowza Wednesday of October. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. I think it's sweet. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. That's the two I've done for, as a gift for an order for someone. But this was my first one, as I said. This was my one I did for my colour creation. I made my ribbon a little bit too long on this one, a little bit too short on this one, and just right on these. Look at that. So if you've enjoyed today's project and you would like the written tutorial for this, just head down here and you will see Die Stamp for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorial. That's my Facebook group. There you will be able to go across to there, and if you're not a member, please join, because that's the only way you can get into it, and you do have to answer the question. If you don't answer the question, I'm sorry, you don't get into the group. Then you can download this and it goes live the same day as the tutorial, the YouTube and the tutorial all go live at the same day, same time, same name. So we hope to see you there, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.